Good afternoon and welcome to Blendertainment. I am your host for this vlog, Andy Sullivan. The Kansas portion of the NASCAR playoffs was yesterday. Ross Chastain took the victory, William Byron second, Martin Truex third, Ryan Blaney fourth, Ty Gibbs fifth. And their next race, Talladega. Oh. Talladega, qualifying Monday. Let's see. Friday on FS2 is the trucks. Excuse me, that's qualifying on Friday, FS2, the trucks. The one thing that I'm not at all, I'm not as much ticked off as people who religiously watch it, is the Xfinity races have been moved to the CW network, and the amount of people who get the CW network, I would say, are very, very low, especially compared to who gets all the other networks. Now, you can get CW streaming, but they only have the Xfinity race on a next day basis, so that kind of sucks if you want to watch it live. Now, going back to the Bristol race, because I wasn't with you last week, Kyle Larson got his 11th stage win in stage 1 of the Bass Pro Bristol Night Race. In the first cutoff race, Kyle Larson won his 12th stage, as he also won stage 2. And then he won stage 3. So it was kind of a boring race, especially if you're not a Kyle Larson fan. Kyle Larson was the first driver in Bristol, or first driver to sweep all 3 Bristol stages. Larson led all but 38 laps. Harrison Burton, Ty Gibbs, Martin Truex, and Brad Keselowski were eliminated from the playoffs. And, of course, when you're eliminated from the playoffs, you turn on the next race because you don't have the pressure of the playoffs. And right now, I'm gonna, as I'm doing this, I'm doing this on my iPad as I'm doing this vlog, so okay. The Kentucky Wildcats are now 3-2 overall, 1-2 in conference, after defeating the Ole Miss Rebels, upsetting the Ole Miss Rebels 20-17. And their next game is Vanderbilt, but let's talk a little bit more about this one. It was a morning game. Let's see. Okay, we're not going to talk about that one. Since I was doing this podcast or vlog, I feel like I'm on one of those WBK, or, okay, I'm going to say WBKO. But one of those news channels where you think you're going to do a story and then something doesn't cooperate, and then you're just like, you're kind of left in the lurch. and you just say, okay, and move on. Well, that's the way this is. So, run down the schedule. They blanked Southern Miss. They lost to South Carolina. They lost to Georgia. They beat Ohio. They beat Ole Miss. So now they're 3-2 as they face Vanderbilt Saturday night. Or, yes, Saturday night on SEC Network. And let's see now, what do we got? The Titans. The Titans, well, as you see, got my Titan shirt on. Tonight they play the Miami Dolphins, and let's just not sugarcoat it. The Titans suck. But, you know, that's par for the course for them. Also par for the course for them is the fact that the guy that they traded foolishly, Derrick Henry, balled out for the Ravens yesterday. Or last night. So that was fun to watch as a Titans fan. Not at all, by the way. Sense that sarcasm, I hope. Let's see, former Dolphin Mercury Morris passed away at 77. People's Choice Country Awards, New Artist of 2024, Shabuzi. Lady A performed a Tom Petty, Stevie Nicks tribute of Stop Dragging My Heart Around. Ashley Cook and Cody Rhodes presented Group Duo of 2024 to Dan and Shay. Keith Urban performed his new single, Messed Up As Me. Crossover Song of 2024, which, honestly, I did not know was in an awards category. I think they make up new categories every year. Went to Machine Gun Kelly and Restless Road for Lonely Road, a takeoff of Take Me Home Country Roads. Parker McCollum introduced Miranda Lambert as country icon. I can get on board with that, certainly. She got well known. Well, I don't know how many people remember this, but she finished third in 2003's Nashville Star Competition on the USA Network, if you remember that show. Kelsey Ballerini performed Two Things Can Be True About Her. Okay, I'll clean this up here. About her boyfriend. I'm surprised they didn't pan to him in the crowd, honestly. Female Song of the Year is Dasha for Austin Boots Stop Working. I can't believe somebody beat the great Beyonce and Lainey Wilson, which, by the way, there's news about Lainey Wilson that, hell, you know what? Let me just break it down. Lainey Wilson, Luke Bryan, and Peyton Manning will co-host the CMA Awards. Now, what gets me is that the CMA Awards are just a few days away from Thanksgiving, which is crazy. Anyway, back to the PCAs. War and Treaty performed. Bailey Zimmerman presented Kane Brown with the Champion Award. After Peacock saw fit to mess up for a few minutes and blank us out, we were back with Dan and Shay introducing Brad Paisley, who performed Mud on the Tires and its sibling, I guess you could say. Truck Still Works. Group Song of the Year went to Old Dominion for Different About You. And that's going to be all of the so-so PCAs that I'm going to talk about. Now, a little bit about, you know, I always said that I hated that phrase that they say it on WBKO a lot. I think they must do a training ground for all WBKO employees where you have your handle phrases and your go-tos, and one of them is tell us a little bit about. And I just did that. So maybe I won't do that again for a while. Okay. Wrestling. Okay, there's not a lot. Well, actually, there is a lot. If you watch AEW, you know the Acclaimed. You know they are former AEW Tag Team Champions. And also, if you watch all of the shows, which I do, you know that they were on Rampage last Friday. They are former AEW Tag Team Champions. They are now lucky to get time on a show that's about to be canceled. That's right, Rampage is about to be canceled. Apparently, it's going to be, I don't know, replaced by another show. I don't know if AEW needs 3 shows. I really don't. I think if they're going to cancel Rampage, they should just leave it alone. Have Dynamite on Wednesday and Collision on Saturday, and then your pay-per-views on Saturday or Sunday, and call it a good deal. And if you have pay-per-views on Saturday, you can air Collision on Friday. I mean, don't they record Collision after Dynamite anyway, or is it they record Rampage and Collision on the same night? I don't know. But anyway, this week's race, NASCAR race, Stage 1 of Sunday's Hollywood Casino 400 was won by William Byron. Stage 2 by Alex Bowman, and Stage 3 by Ross Chastain. Both Trackhouse cars have won this year. That's career win number 5 for Chastain. 10 cautions, 14 different leaders. And the playoff standings as they stand. Let's see, let's go to Twitter here. Scrolling very slow. Okay, here we go. Playoff standings as of now. Top 12. Number 12, Austin Cindric. Number 11, Chase Briscoe. Number 10, Daniel Suarez. Number 9, Tyler Reddick. 4 back. Number 8. And that's going to be the next cutoff. In at 8 is Joey Logano, 4 points to the good. At 7 is Chase Elliott. 6 is Alex Bowman. 5th is Denny Hamlin. 4th is Kyle Larson. 3rd, Christopher Bell. And 2nd, Ryan Blaney. And sitting on top is William Byron, 34 points to the good. As of yesterday, check this out. Britney Spears released the song Baby One More Time 26 years ago on September 29th, 1998. 26 years. That's insane. Let's see what else we have. The internet blew up last night because Selena Gomez was at the Sabrina Carpenter Short and Sweet tour. That's cool. Let's see. What else do we have? Chris Christopherson passed away yesterday. The first thing I have here in my Twitter DMs was that time Chris Christopherson consoled Sinead O'Connor after she was booed mercifully for, everybody probably remembers the SNL Pope incident where she, after her first performance, she said, "Fight the real enemy," and then tore a picture of the Pope. And everybody was flabbergasted that she would do that. But decades later, turns out that she was right for all of her misgivings and thoughts about the Pope. And if you have no idea what I'm talking about, I suggest that you go to www.beachtreenews.com and read my column about Saturday Night Live in the 90s. That is the part of Vice's Dark Side of the 90s series. And that is episode 5, I believe. So, and there's 10 of them. So we're halfway through. Now this week will be, we'll get to that later. Let's see, where else are we? Talked about that. Stage 1 of Sunday's Hollywood Casino 400, William Byron won. Stage 2, Alex Bowman won. Stage 3, Ross Chastain. I already talked about all that. Country legend Chris Christopherson passing away Saturday, September 28th Saturday, September 28th at his home in Maui. Let's see what else is in the Twitter DMs here. That's about it. And tonight's game, the Titans-Dolphins game, I know there are more games, but Titans-Dolphins are... Titans-Dolphins is all I care about. So you're probably like, hey, Andy, why don't you talk about all of them? Well, I used to do a column or a blog or a written blog years ago where I talked about all NFL stuff, all sports stuff, instead of just my teams. But I'm not a national columnist, and I kind of got bored with that. So yeah, I just do my thing. Tonight, 6:30, the 0-3 Titans versus the 1-2 Dolphins on ESPN. And I do, as you see, have my Titan shirt on, ready to root the team on. I'll cheer them on even if they're not good, even if they're not having a good season. I'm not a fair weather fan, and I don't see. You probably want to stay off Twitter because, or X, because you'll probably be called a fair weather fan. Get called a lot of things if you stay on Twitter long enough. But as I said before, I don't care for their management. I don't know of anyone who does, especially since yesterday, as I said, Derrick Henry balled out for the Ravens, and here I was, and I even tweeted about it. I was like, oh, good job, Titans, trading off your formerly top running back, and now he has found new life in Baltimore. And what do you have? Well, I didn't add that last part, but it's kind of the way I feel about it. But anyway, so that is what's going on in the NFL. Tonight, while the football games are going on, Monday Night Raw on the USA Network, one of their, well, they've still got quite a few on USA. Raw airs tonight with a live show from Ford Center in Evansville, Indiana. Cool. This is the final episode of Raw during a 5-week build towards Bad Blood, which takes place on Saturday night, October 5th in Atlanta. It's the end of an era, and everything on Raw is getting destroyed. Yeah, that's exactly what this preview I'm reading off of says. Raw changed to a 3-hour format on USA Network over a decade ago, July 2012 to be exact. But that era is coming to a close tonight. Raw moves back to 2 hours starting next week and will remain that way for the rest of 2024. Now, as you know, in January of 2025, Raw will move to Netflix. How is WWE bringing the 3-hour era of Raw to an end? By destroying everything in sight. That's the carnage I expect to happen when Braun Strowman and Bronson Reed fight each other in a last man standing match. Now, here's what I would do. I would put... Now, a lot of people would probably think that this is a weak idea. But I would make that match the main event. Because that way they could do just that. If they're going to have a brand new set, which I wouldn't have a brand new set until they move to Netflix. But if they're going to do that, then have Braun and Bronson just destroy everything tonight. CM Punk and Drew McIntyre are ending their feud, supposedly, with a Hell in a Cell match at Bad Blood. Punk spoke about the match a couple of weeks ago on Raw, and Drew spoke about it on last week's episode. Someone in WWE came up with the crazy idea that they should both speak about it tonight. Will they do it in the same time in this ring together? Their separate promos had a somber tone focused on blood and death, so maybe they can make things a little more uplifting this time, like agreeing on some cool decorations for the Hell in a Cell stage. Oh, good Lord. Xavier Woods is frustrated. Oh, yeah. Xavier Woods is frustrated and has a strange complex when he thinks anyone who has held the WWE Championship looks down on him for never winning singles gold in the WWE. This impulse led him to insult Rey Mysterio last week. Weird. So now they'll fight about it tonight. Is Xavier willing to break the rules in order to end his losing ways and score a win over the WWE Hall of Famer? I will answer that. Yes, he is. Speaking of the New Day, Kofi Kingston versus Chad Gable is also booked on Raw. Kofi is looking for payback after Gable cost New Day their tag title match against the Creeds last week. Will Xavier Woods be consumed with jealousy if he fails to beat Ray in singles action but former champion and partner Kofi Kingston gets the job done against Gable? I can answer that. Yes. LWO's Dragon Lee, Cruz del Toro, and Joaquin Wilde are set for a 6-man tag team match against Judgment Day's Carlito, JD McDonough, and Dominic Mysterio. Will this be a straightforward tune-up victory for the heels, or will someone like the Terror Twins or Ilya Dragunov get involved to spice things up a bit? Yeah, this is not going to be straight up anything. Zoe Stark versus Lyra Valkyria is also advertised for the show. Pure Fusion Collective had a hype video last week indicating they run the women's division on Raw, but you wouldn't know it based on their recent losses against Italia. Will PFC get back on track with a win over Lyra? Sure. Finally, new Intercontinental Champion Jey Uso will make an appearance on Raw. How long will he get to speak before former champ Braun Breaker interrupts to demand a rematch? I don't know if he'll even get a few words out. But yeah, Braun will demand a rematch, and the rematch will happen this Saturday at Bad Blood. Sami Zayn is desperate to get a title match against world champ Gunther, but the ring general is having a lot of fun declining his request every week. Time is running out if Zayn hopes to get his rematch added to Bad Blood, which already has Triple H's preferred number of 5 matches booked on the show. So I don't think it's going to happen at Bad Blood. I think it's going to happen at Crown Jewel, actually. Of course, Gunther will retain. Here's another thing. Finn Balor. What is going on? He wasn't on last week's Raw. He was originally scheduled against Rey Mysterio on tonight's card and changed to Mysterio versus Woods. Balor set for a single match against Damian Priest at Bad Blood, so in theory, he should be on tonight's go-home show with a final angle against Priest, wouldn't you think? Because if they were making it a big match feel, and it started out like that, and it's kind of tempered or whimpered, or however you want to say, but seems like it's kind of petered out. I don't know. It's my take on it. Damage Control defeated the Holy Union last week and now have their sights set on WWE Tag Team Champions Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill. the champs will be hosting the pay-per-view coming up this weekend. So I'm thinking that Damage Control somehow gets involved, and we'll get that tag title match probably at Crown Jewel, I'm thinking. I'm reading out here, it says, think Sheamus wants his feud with Pete Dunne to be an Irish versus English thing. Dunne got the jump on Sheamus last week by attacking him backstage with that damn cricket bat again. Can Sheamus find a better Irish weapon to use besides the shillelagh? What other Irish weapons are there besides the shillelagh? I guess maybe we'll find out tonight. Will there be one last promo between Rhea Ripley and Women's Champion Liv Morgan ahead of their match at Bad Blood, where Dirty Dom will be locked behind bars in a shark cage? Ripley has only wrestled one match on Raw in 2024, and that was way back on January 1. So obviously she won't be stepping in the ring tonight for a tune-up. And White 6. Where in the world do they go after their feud with the Alpha Academy? Is they? I almost said is they. Are they just going to be taken off until they can find something else for them to do? Because, that's what AEW... that's what you do, right? That's what AEW is doing with some dudes. I did not know... you remember that, speaking of AEW, that match where Garcia beat MJF, or did MJF beat Garcia, but Garcia beat the crap out of him post-match? Now MJF is off filming Happy Gilmore 2, where he will be playing, spoiler alert, but not really because it's been out there long enough, his character will be Adam Sandler's son, which should be interesting. All the same casts are back, and I believe that movie is slated for release sometime next year on Netflix. Now, they just recently started filming, so I'm gonna say summer of 2025. That's just my guess. As a matter of fact, I'll say July of 2025. Again, I'll probably be proven wrong and it'll come out in February. But anyway, that's, let's see, I talked about pretty much it. As far as late night shows, I've been watching them on the way to watch the Tonight Show, at least for me, is on the Peacock app. A whole lot clearer. Our dish is in HD, and let me tell you something. If you have Dish, this just came down earlier today. If I can find it. huh, it was on my phone, but it's not on my iPad. That's weird. Oh, here it is. DirecTV will buy Dish Network for, are you ready for this? $1. What's this? The freaking Price is Right? I mean, I know Dish has been losing money, but come on, $1, guys. And even though they say, oh, your service won't be interrupted and nothing will change. Yeah, sure, nothing will change now. But let me tell you something. In a while, it might take a few months, it might take a year, but yes, there will be changes. And there will be some unhappy people that have Dish, because it's probably going to look just like DirecTV, and eventually DirecTV is going to say, hey, come over here. Why don't we merge this? Why don't we merge? I mean, come on. What? And they will. They will eventually, probably, my opinion at least, merge Dish into DirecTV. I mean, if they don't, I would be surprised. But if they do, I'm out, because DirecTV is, they wouldn't, well, anyway, I could go on a long diatribe about that, but I've already been on here for over a half an hour, and I prefer not to get upset. So that is going to be it for me this week. Enjoy the Monday Night Football games tonight. Hopefully I will be enjoying watching a Titans win. Please, dear Lord, let that happen. And yeah, that's it. This has been Blendertainment, or, well, I've been doing this for a little bit, and I still don't really know what to call it. I called my podcast Blendertainment. You know what? Let's call the vlog here Blendertainment too. Why not? You've been watching Blendertainment. I'm your host, Andy Sullivan. Have a great rest of your Monday. Have a great rest of the week. And enjoy some Monday Night Football tonight and some wrestling. And I might come back on here later to talk about a little post-Raw and final thought on Bad Blood Saturday. I'm not going to run down the card yet, because there might be some addition between now and Friday. So I'll be back at you, and enjoy the rest of the day, and enjoy the shows tonight, and enjoy the rest of the week. Peace out, and I'll catch you later.